Something's wrong with Chucky.
Andy, I know this move has been really tough, but this was supposed to be a new start for us, remember? You said you were going to try to make new friends.
Buddy can connect to and control all of your Caslin products and smart home devices. Introducing your new best friend.
Mom, I need to tell you something, and I need you to believe me. I think Chucky did something.
Andy, if you know something, you better tell me.
Something's wrong with Chucky.
Buddy can connect to and control all of your Caslin products.
Chucky is a toy.
He could be anywhere.
Welcome to Caslin Cars.
We have to stop him.
Welcome everybody to the Cast from the Coast. My name is Adam Miles and I'm joined as always by Tim Johnson and Josh Lambert. How the fuck are yous?
Good.
Good. Ready to talk about tonight's movie though?
I am.
In a good way, Tim?
You know what? I think you'll be surprised with
Maybe.
my reaction.
Maybe.
I don't think you'll be surprised with mine.
No. I knew as soon as I recommended this film, Josh would be like, meh.
Yeah.
You would Josh would be like, this isn't the original one, just reshapen and given to me in a new
Josh is
format.
a fucking purist.
That's all Josh wants. He just wants Tim Curry prancing around like Pennywise. He just wants Scream to be the exact same movie over and over again. He just wants a Saw sequel released every October.
But unfortunately, the 21st of June last year, Josh did not get what he wanted.
No. So
Now we have Corona, so I'm not saying that's the cause, but
we really fucking went there right away.
Here we are.
Right the fuck away.
here we are.
Alright.
Hey, it's a big deal.
Nice.
Well, by the time this episode airs, it might be over.
We might all be dead.
Yeah,
Could be. Could be.
it could be the last thing ever recorded in all of humanity.
No.
Wow.
Okay. Whatever.
What was the Michael Jackson thing you just did?
I had this little thing with the girl going
so
on like
fucking random.
Shimon!
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's episode we will be focusing on the remake of Child's Play. Tim, do you have a synopsis for us?
I do, and it hurts me to say it because it just reminds me of a better movie. But the synopsis is as follows. A mother gives her 13-year-old son a toy doll for his birthday, completely unaware of its more sinister, darker nature.
Wah. That's not the movie I watched.
Pretty sure that's the movie I fucking watched, but okay. All right. Let's jump right into this. Let's talk about the story a little bit more, Tim. So, good synopsis and all, but give us a little bit more of an outline here. Talk to us.
It's never enough for him. It's never enough.
I know, he's always wanting fucking
Always
more.
more.
Always want
Always.
more. Okay, so basically, I'm going to put this kind of disclaimer out there to begin with. When I went into this film, I sat down to fucking watch this. I completely took it out of my head that Child's Play, the original Child's Play, even existed. Because if I went in, I would come out like Josh, comparing it constantly to the original. And you can't help but not to. But I think going into it, just thinking that this is a different fucking movie, allowed me to watch it. So the synopsis is: there's this company, very not like Amazon at all. It totally is not Amazon. Basically comes out with a toy called Buddy. What was the name of the company? Caslin Industries.
Yeah.
So Caslin Industries comes out with a interactive doll that can basically tap into I forget what they were called in the movie, but basically Alexa.
Yeah.
The movie starts off somewhere in China. I'm assuming.
Vietnam.
Was it Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was in Vietnam, and they were at the factory where they're building the dolls, and this worker is getting absolutely berated by his
asshole boss.
Wow.
And the guy just snapped, and he had this Buddy doll that he was working on. I don't know if it didn't even, there was no subtitles or anything in the copy that what I watched, and I don't think there's supposed to be, because you kind of get the gist of it just by the scene, the way it was set up. But anyways, the boss is yelling at him. The poor worker has basically had enough, because you can just assume that this kept happening with this guy's career there. And basically says fuck it, and goes into the Buddy doll's programming and turns off all the safeguards. and there's basically this untapped, completely free range Buddy doll.
Free range Buddy dolls.
He basically he turns off all the security protocols and jumps out the window and kills himself.
So that nobody knows he did it.
So, yeah. But...
Dumb.
Yeah, so the Buddy doll gets packaged and basically, sent wherever it was supposed to get sent. But us as the viewer knows where it gets sent. The beauty of film, people. The beauty of film. Anyways, a mother of a very lonely 13-year-old boy, and his name, you'll never guess, is
way.
Andy Barclay. Basically, his mom kind of scored a Buddy doll from her work. She was doing like returns and stuff like that, and she buys it for Andy as kind of a joke gift for his birthday, and wants to give it to him to kind of cheer him up beforehand. Basically he's given Chucky, and things start going on, and Chucky kind of glitches out, and horror ensues.
Okay.
Child's Play.
So I got to talk about the first thing that struck me odd about this fucking movie. Everything that you see in this movie, Kesslin, systems or whatever the fuck it is touted to be Industries is touted to be like a.
And I love that it was Tim Matheson too.
Good.
Like he'd just show up and be like, "Hey,
the Jeff Bezos type of fucking character, or the Bill Gates."
I'm Henry Castle.
Why the fuck was these things made with the ability to turn off safeguards? Why were there even fucking things programmed in this device that would allow it to function in such a manner? I have to ask that.
Well, no, they program a safeguard. You have to program safeguards.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when you create an AI, you create safeguards.
Okay.
So it doesn't
during the programming.
get
He went in
smart.
and removed those.
Yeah, so it was able to adapt and
Yeah.
make its own thoughts. And
It's not so much like the evil Krusty doll where you turn it on and off.
Yeah, evil. Oh, it's on evil mode, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Frogurt is also
the
cursed.
guy shows up.
The yogurt is also cursed.
Oh. No, that just struck me weird though that the guy was like going through to turn off the safeties, and I'm like, why the fuck are these even available for somebody to turn off? But that's my key. Building in safeguards is one thing, and having it automatic that it can't do certain things.
Sure.
But the ability for somebody to go in and say, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off.
Do you know why? Because this movie is fucking stupid. That's why.
Yeah, and Adam, I think you're concentrating on the wrong thing to be mad at.
All right.
If I'm going to be absolutely honest, I think that is very, very small footnote in a long line of footnotes in this film. But
your point is accurate, though. There shouldn't just be like an on-off switch.
Yeah, like if you're going to build in safeguards, build them
like
in.
if he opened up a fucking...
The problem is, the reason why
he typed in a bunch, and then all of a sudden the safeguards were off. That's one thing, but it was really like, won't kill people, on, off.
And that's exactly what it was like. It was literally like the fucking Krusty doll, evil mode.
Are you guys really going to pick apart a fucking movie about a doll that kills people? Come on. I think the fact that this piece of AI equipment not only is fucking AI, it has access to the internet. So if these safeguards weren't there, it would just constantly be learning shit from the internet, and you'd have a whole fucking army of shit. So yes, something as simple as do not kill people safeguard makes sense. Don't you think that fucking AI that is getting toted around, the bald one, doesn't have a safeguard? Do not kill people? Absolutely. Come on, you saw Terminator.
Right?
Adam, those safeguards were off. Skynet got charged.
Terminator movies.
What?
What the fuck did you just say, Josh?
I don't know what you said because your mouth.
I guess we'll see if the viewers can hear me or not. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go back and fucking rewind that myself. Did you say that you've never watched the Terminator movies?
That might be what I said.
Get off this.
The fuck. Wow, moving the fuck on. Okay, so I'm done picking apart the fucking safeguards apparently, because that just brought out another fucking side of Josh. Okay.
I think Adam's just trying to make up for the fact that he stood on last episode. So let's put it all on Josh.
Bring it on. Bring it on. This movie is so bad, I'll take all your criticisms.
All right, just fucking move on. Okay, characters. We're moving on from the fucking storyline, the basic storyline. So, as we understand with the...
No. I think we should... Because, okay, I think it's important that we do talk about the story a little bit more, because aside from the very bare bones, this movie has absolutely nothing in common with the original movie.
The only thing it has in common, doll goes nuts and tries to kill people.
Its name is Chucky, it's called Child's Play, and the boy's name is fucking Andy Barclay. That's it. It's
a doll that kills people.
Well, that was the first thing that Adam said. I don't know if you were listening.
If I said, hey, there's this movie called Child's Play, it's about a doll that kills people, that fully sums up the Child's Play series.
Okay, so then this movie falls in line then. Exactly, Josh. I don't know why you don't like it then.
Yeah.
Because it sucks.
All right.
I'm going to be a little bit...
The doll's not evil. That is the main reason why.
You want to know why I'm gonna be a little controversial right now? I love the Child Play movies and I love all the Chucky, but I actually enjoyed this film more than Seed of Chucky.
That's not something to be controversial about. Seed of Chucky, I love Don Mancini's vision for everything, but Seed of Chucky was a fucking terrible flick in almost every way.
And this movie was not as bad as that, so I guess I won in my viewing experience.
I'll give you that, yep.
But we'll get all into that opinion shit. Right now, we're being factual.
Right, factual.
We're talking about the facts. Save the opinions, everybody.
Okay.
Let's all just...
Take a chill.
Okay.
Donald Trump it
Shit.
a little bit.
Okay, so in terms of story, this movie does obviously, like you said, it only shares certain things. So this is basically child's play for the new generation. Everything is fucking
that was the point I was trying
smartphones
to make.
and smart characters and AI and everything else. The only thing that I had an issue with that was that it really, I don't know how anybody else felt, but it seemed like Castlin was like a little more advanced than our current. You know what I mean? They had an AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was almost like it shouldn't have been the current generation. It should have been like 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel it
Josh,
took place. Yeah, it took
Josh,
place like 5
sum it
10
up.
years.
What you said. It reminded you of.
Well, that's in my
Smooth.
notes, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We'll go over your
All
notes
right.
later.
Jump
Okay.
a little bit.
So it does seem
All right.
like they tried to cram more advanced technology into the current age when it should have been maybe say 10 or 15 years from now type of thing, right? Because
I saw the whole movie is taking place 5 years from now.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
potentially, yeah.
it's not unrealistic. And Google Home already exists, man. Like all this stuff's already there. It's just not as commercially available. But stuff gets cheaper as it gets more commercial available. That I can see
Okay.
that. This is Teddy Ruxpin on crack, man. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. All right. So you have Andy, he gets the doll, and now the interesting thing about this doll, and you brought up a good point there earlier when you said this about the storyline. See, in the original Child's Play, as we all know, it's Charles Lee Ray, and his soul is in the doll, and he's trying to insert his soul into Andy so that he can basically live in flesh again,
Right.
and basically grow.
But guess what? This movie does not own the rights
No,
to that.
Don Mancini still owns that.
So it's not allowed to
That's
do
right.
it.
that's so. I think that's
But-
so silly. Like that's the line that you cut, but you're allowed to have a buddy doll and all this other stuff. Like,
So Charles Lee Ray was a serial killer, so he's evil. Whereas
evil,
Whereas
bad
in
guy.
this, the doll is where the safeguards are off. He's Andy's best friend, and it's like he will do anything for Andy. And it gets to the point where he would literally kill for Andy.
Because the doll's not evil, the human population.
Yeah, it's almost like it kind of turns the doll into more of an anti-hero character to begin with. You know what I mean?
I think we're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Come on, that didn't get points.
That got
with you,
total
Adam?
points for me, man. That got total points.
Definitely.
Especially when he was sitting there watching it so enthralled, and then he goes and gets the fucking knife and shit, and it's like, yeah. Go Chucky.
I'm sure Josh would like it if it was fucking like Evil Dead 2.
No, I really liked that scene.
All right.
That scene was great. The movie is okay. The movie itself, on itself, in of itself, is not a bad movie. Like I said, and it's in my notes, but I'll repeat it now. This is a great episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
This is a horrible Child's Play movie, and that's what they're playing it as. If this just came out as fucking Black Mirror season 3, 1 hour, 0.5 special, I'd be like, yeah, this movie's fucking great. It plays on Child's Play.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's not what we got. We got a movie
No.
called Child's Play that's not about an evil doll. It's about a computer.
Who learns and loves.
Sure. Which literally is just
Sure.
a fucking Black Mirror episode.
Yes.
Okay. So, as we can see, the big differences here really are the way that they take this. It isn't that it's an evil serial killer doll. It's somebody who's protective. It's an AI that's learning. It loves. It's trying to protect. It doesn't know any better. It's childlike in a lot of its mysterious ways that it handles things and learns about things. And it really does... Yeah, it really does come across like the doll is just... It doesn't know any better. It just sees and does.
And do you want to know what? To me, that's what gave this movie points in my book. Was it wasn't trying to be like it is a reboot, but it wasn't trying to be the original movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was obviously, but it was trying to do its own thing. And what I can say about this movie more so than the other, reboots that have been made of, other beloved horror movies, out of all of them, this is the only one that I was enjoying watching. Like the remake of Friday the 13th was garbage.
Yeah.
There was one cool fucking scene at the start. Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, garbage. Black Christmas, garbage. Like, you know what I mean? This one,
There was some enjoyment factor.
yeah, there was a lot of elements that I enjoyed.
I wish they would have made it just enough difference so that it wasn't a Child's Play movie, but it was clearly taking the aspects. Like instead of a buddy doll, it'd be like a fucking, I don't know, a pal doll or a best guy, right?
And it's being dubbed as like a spiritual successor to.
Right. But when you
Child's
straight up take every visual aspect of the movie and insert your own plot device,
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like
So-
that aspect.
So if it
All right,
wasn't
let's-
Child's Play,
let's-
it was
let's-
Toddler Romp. You would have
Sure.
loved it.
I'd say fuck, this knockoff Child's Play is fucking comical.
All right. Let's move on a little bit. So we're kind of beating the fucking storyline to death here. We'll get back to that when we get into our opinions and shit. So let's jump on to the characters then. So we have Andy Barkley.
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Let's give
Aubrey
a hand
Plaza.
to the gorgeous Aubrey Plaza. This is the only reason I watched this movie. I adore her.
She was great.
And she was
I love Aubrey
fantastic.
Plaza. I Parks and Rec, she's awesome.
Oh my God, Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Mwah. But her playing Karen in this, like, you know, you always see her be very sarcastic, very monotone, and all
Mopey
this.
and-
So to actually, to see her actually act, like, because I mean, her acting is so good, being that mopey, sarcastic, you know,
She's almost typecast.
character. Yeah, and a lot of people believe that that's actually her, and I think it is actually her. So to see her actually go out of her comfort zone a little bit and actually, you know, play this, you know, single mother, you know, struggling at a job and all this kind of stuff, like it was very refreshing, and I thought she was fantastic in this movie.
You know, she was definitely good. She was a great character in the movie, and I believed it. You know, she really was struggling with things, and she truly loved her son in the movie, and I think she pulled it off really wonderful too. So, back when this movie was coming out, when they did say that Aubrey Plaza was playing the mother, that was the tip off for us to watch this originally too. We did say that from the beginning. If she's in it, we'll watch it just for the sake that she's in it because we like her. Yeah.
And then they announced who was doing the voice of Chucky, and I was sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Talk about
Mr. Mark
talk
Hamill.
about that again for a minute there. Yeah, so Mark Hamill. But the interesting thing is that the movie was basically, we had seen a couple of teasers already for the movie and images all over the place. So they obviously, you know, just like animated movies, you know, it gets filmed and then they do the voiceovers for the characters, right? So Mark Hamill did it afterwards. And his character voice for Chucky was just different enough that I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he was doing an impression of Charles Lee Ray. Like he had his own.
He even
kind
had
of
a
voice.
fucking theme song he sang. I adored it.
yeah.
I listened to it during the credits. I was like, yeah, this shit's awesome, man. He was singing the fucking "My Name is Chucky," and I was like, fucking great.
One thing that they didn't really establish, though, was that the name of all the dolls? Because I know the original Good Guy dolls, it was,
They were different
you know,
names.
it came out at it came out at a time. It was like the boys'
Cabbage Patch.
version of the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah.
So like every doll had a different name, but
No, they did establish in this one that all the dolls did have different names, but as per one of the other kids that got Chucky afterwards, thought it was a different doll, you could like rename them.
Mm.
And they would like respond,
Yeah.
because what did he call it? He called it like Dickhead or some shit like this, and it was like, come on, Dickhead, and like Chucky would just follow him. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, they all did have different names because that was when the
humor in this movie is on point. Like,
oh my
this
god,
movie is
when
fucking
fucking
hysterical.
Chucky kills the guy and goes, "This is for Tupac." I lost it.
this is for Tupac.
Like this movie is fucking
Yeah.
hysterical. I'll give
Well,
it that.
and actually, my favorite characters in the whole movie was the cop and his mother.
Yeah.
Oh, that Yeah,
They were fucking hilarious together.
Yeah, no, yeah, I loved that. I thought that was just those two characters alone, and I mean, Andy was great. He's a 13-year
Why
old.
was he deaf? Why, like, did they even use that plot point at any time
What
in the
plot
film?
point? What?
Oh,
That
the
Andy was
hearing
deaf? Yeah.
They used it. They used it
maybe?
once or twice in the movie. Um,
Yeah.
nothing really huge by any means. Just that he had the hearing aid and shit. And
Wasn't it? Didn't he at some point like Chucky was able to like hack into
he
his
could
fucking
he could hear
hearing
him
aid?
at one point. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Kesslin hearing aid. Yeah, so like there was
mm.
at one
Yeah.
point where you
I
could
guess
hear him.
just to establish again that it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find his name here and I can't.
Who, the cop?
And then he had like his crony buddies. The tomboy girl and the big guy from down the hall.
What the pug?
Mike was his name. Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh, yes, excellent. Yeah, and his mother was hilarious because she just learned in the technology and she was all like, "I can fucking do it."
Oh, when she gets to the fucking the
Yeah,
Uber.
gets in the Kesslin car.
Oh, girl, she's all fucking. She's got a pert. Yeah, it was a really great.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked her.
Oh man. So okay. So so you were right, Josh. He had his friends. He had like the tomboy girl. I can't remember her name, but his friend's name was Pug. Like the
Name was
Fallon or
Fallon.
whatever, but like they were called him Pug or some shit like this. It was
No, her name was Fallon. His
yes,
name was
that's
Pug.
what I meant. Yeah,
Fallon and Pug.
And then he had the other kids from around the fucking neighborhood and shit like that. It was
Fucking Omar.
Omar.
Omar was great. He's the one that taught Chucky. Now say this is for Tupac.
Fucking stabbing they out in the fucking parking lot stabbing the plush doll. Yeah.
And again, to this movie's credit, the writing is really good. There's a ton of foreshadowing. Like everything Chucky does, he sees it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when the sister's got like a ribbon around her neck and she goes like this, and then he hangs her, like that's foreshadowing. That's a great sign of great writing.
Sister, his mom.
Mom, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
She's super young.
Yeah.
She's like almost 40.
She looks super young.
She's super young. Even in the film, she makes note of it. She's like, yeah, my Sweet 16 was super busy.
But yeah, exactly. But right down as well to, once again, the foreshadowing that you're talking about, where he learns and he sees and he does. One of the things that the Buddy doll does is makes presents. And that's exactly what he does. He fixes a situation with the boyfriend and he presents a present. Look, I made something for you. And it was creepy as shit.
I love funny. Well, the thing that I do have to say that I really liked about the movie was it kind of took its time before he fucking became the killer. And I like how kind of like innocent but dumb he was. Like, I made you a present, and it's like a broken stick with like a bed spoon, and it's got a ribbon. You know what I mean? Like. And like, oh, don't forget your math book. It's and like toilet paper. Like, toilet paper, yeah. So I thought it was great.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the visual effects and the gore in this movie here for a minute. So I actually really fucking like the animatronics that they put behind Chucky. I thought it was super fucking well done. I was not expecting it to look that good on camera because a lot of what you see in the trailers and the teasers, you don't really see him moving a lot.
No, and the thing that I was really surprised with, and I actually really liked, was that Chucky's eyes were LCD screens and it was animated eyeballs, right? And I like that aesthetic because LEDs in the dark kind of glow. So
Tim and his glowing eyes.
Yeah.
If he would have been sitting there in the fucking closet staring and it was just glowing eyes in the dark.
Oh, that one point where Andy wakes up and he's scanning the room and he sees fucking Chucky in the corner, fucking staring at it. Oh, didn't like it.
That's where Tim
Didn't
doesn't
like
like it. Yeah. But yeah, so the animatronic for Chucky was great. I thought it was pretty damn flawless. Right down to I liked when they were trying to teach him how to smile and grin weird.
Yeah, make
a screwy face, right? And he's like, and he can't really get it right. And they're like, hey, that's creepy enough. Just fucking go with that.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the doll was like fucking blackmailing Andy.
Yeah.
That's fucked. Where did the doll learn to blackmail?
he sees
The internet.
That's right. But the deaths in this movie. So let's talk about the deaths here for a moment. So we had obviously the boyfriend was the first real death, wasn't he? Yeah. Technically, maybe the cat.
I found that. One thing I do want to mention about that boyfriend death, it felt very disjointed from the rest of the narrative of the story, because like if you look at every other kill that Chucky does in the film, it's very much in line with what we saw before. But maybe it was the fact that it was a change of scenery, the fact that the guys, you come to find out, has a wife and family aside from Aubrey Plaza's character. He was taking down Christmas lights or putting them up. I can't remember.
Taking them down, I think.
Like it seemed out of place. The death was cool though, I guess. Yeah. But in my opinion, it was the weakest one into the whole film.
I don't know. The scene with like the snowblower coming at him, that was pretty intense. With the lights and they were coiling up.
Yeah.
But it broke one of my core rules of good horror movies. It involved too many scenes and too many characters. Just keep it simple.
Okay.
But I do like that they tried to bolster the kill count.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the establishment that the boyfriend was a fucking even worse of a dickhole than what you assume him to be, because he was a fucking dick to begin with, and then all of a sudden you find out he's a fucking married dick with kids and shit like this. I felt nothing for when Chucky killed him. I was like, yay, whatever. The character fucking... I actually didn't even like the character. I thought he was a little bit forced, to be honest. He was not... It's not just that he wasn't likable. You know what I mean? Because he really was a piece of shit when he was on camera. But the character...
I know. He had Aubrey Plaza as his girlfriend. And that's how you could have treated her? Aubrey Plaza as your girlfriend.
I would treat you better.
And yeah, she has a kid. It's kind of weird. But that's
Tim, you have a kid.
Yeah, but my kid's not weird. He's weird.
Their names both start with A.
That weird. It's not that weird. But
yeah.
Like they could learn a lot from Train to Busan on how to make a character unlikable.
True.
And be happy when he dies. This guy, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, you knew as soon as you met him in the flow of the story, he was dead.
Well, I knew that. You knew that he was gonna die, but you knew that Chucky was gonna fucking murder him right away when he fucking shoved Andy onto the bed. I was like, yeah, he just put his hands on Andy. He's the next victim. Like that's it. Like you're fucking done, buddy. Yeah. So we get.
I love how Chucky was fucking torturing him though. Like just randomly fucking like playing mind games and like the recordings that he would play, right?
Yeah. You piece of shit. What?
Stop getting your fucking doll to say this to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so okay, so I'd say probably the most unfortunate death in the movie though was actually the cop's mother.
Yeah. I'm laughing at the fact that you were trying to like make a thought come out of your mouth and you just you'll hear it when you watch it back.
Yeah,
it was funny.
That happens on a regular with me, but oh well. So yeah, so the most unfortunate death in this movie, in my opinion, was the cop's mother, because it started off as such a good scene with her enjoying the fucking
so
car,
happy.
and she's like, technology, look at me, everybody, and she's all good and everything else, and it was a rough fucking murder too, like Chucky fucking basically bumper carring her around in the parking lot and fucking murders her. all because she said that Andy was like her new best friend, as a passing joke at the dinner table. Yeah, it was a sad one. Now,
and all of her bingo friends are like on the curb waiting.
and she fucking gets murdered right in front of them.
Then her son Mike shows up, and that was sad for him.
Sad.
He loved
but you got to admit, the boyfriend was a piece of shit, but there was another piece of shit that got murdered in this movie, and he was, in my opinion, he was a creepier, better character to throw in there because he was just limited.
The fucking
superintendent. Like I gotta admit, I wanted to see a little bit more of him afterwards. Like I was like, they should have done just a little bit more with him because it was creepy enough that the first times that you see him, he's installing cameras and shit like this, and then you come to find out that he's got like fucking toilet cameras and shit installed all over the place, and he's checking out all the women in the building.
He reminded me of the character from Human Centipede 2.
Oh fuck!
Just fucking creepy.
Yeah, he's pretty disgusting. He was. But the best part about that was that he starts like fucking getting enthralled by what's going on and doesn't even notice that Chucky's basically coming around. And it's just like fucking figuring out what's going on and figuring out that this guy is a piece of shit, and Chucky decides to murder him.
Well, I like how he took the time, because at this point Chucky was fucked up and all smashed and shit, and I love how he like tried to refurbish him. Bought him new clothes.
Like Toy Story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the vibe that I totally got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fix them all up.
Yeah. I'm going to make a mint on eBay.
You're going to eBay, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, but when he's got him dangling with the fucking saw.
Table saw underneath him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's not that hard to jump out of the way of a table saw.
He was a big dude, and he didn't look like he'd be limber.
Fucking... Yeah, but the blade's so small. Lean.
Just lean forward as you launch. And on the next episode, Josh proves how this fucking works.
Right? We hook up a table saw and hang Josh. But yeah, that was cool. And when it hit like his feet, I could feel it. It gave me a shiver.
Yeah, it was a pretty crude looking, death that it felt. You felt it. Yeah. When they started announcing the Buddy 2 in this movie, though, the one that was coming out, and it like
the little bear one,
I actually kind of liked the idea that they were going with different looking character dolls.
Yeah.
I was like, this really actually kind of feels like what a toy company would do. It's not going to be the new version of Buddy, and it looks just the same fucking thing, but a different packaging.
Did either one of you get offended at the start with the black guy returning the doll and he said, I don't want a fucking ginger?
Oh, I'm used to it. Nobody wants a fucking ginger around.
I was offended. I almost turned it off right there.
It's a fucking ginger.
I was like,
So they get... So by the end of it, they're talking about ginger dolls, blonde dolls, black and Latino dolls, and they've got the fucking teddy bear version of him now. And that became fucking creepy at the end when the fucking teddy bear was running around, fucking with the red eyes, gonna kill people.
Yep.
The teddy bear was the most creepy.
It's definitely the most creepy. So they're planning for the Buddy 2, and then the next big real death that, we'll talk about here is multiple deaths. At the reveal of the Buddy 2, and everybody's getting ready to buy it, Chucky's got it all set up to control, like, fucking, drones and the other Buddy dolls, and he basically goes on a massacre, turns the toy store against people. And the fucking, the razor blades on the drone? That was actually pretty cool.
Crazy.
That was actually pretty cool. So, so we had a huge death with a lot of people dying and Chucky fucking taunting Andy.
Greetings from Tromaville. I'm Lloyd Kaufman, president of Troma Entertainment and creator of The Toxic Avenger. Folks, when we're not making those great movies like Tromeo and Juliet and Return to Nukamai, a.k.a. Volume 2, the Troma team and I like to kick back and listen to They Cast from the Coast they cast from the coast is really the best entertainment, the best education, and the best emotional liberation that Lloyd Kaufman can possibly experience. Thank you.
I'll be honest.
The vibe I'm getting right now. We're talking about this movie like we don't hate it.
Well, keep talking then, because in the end,
I was
like,
just
even
about to
Josh-
say, I'll be honest. That scene was boring. I was on my phone for the majority of that scene.
okay, fair enough. I mean, I watched. I was homesick, and I watched basically all of the fucking movie. But
I looked up and saw the razor drone. I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then just kind of skips into
oh
someone.
look,
I was
my
like, "Oh,
eBay
I guess
bid is
that's
going through.
always see of that." Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, eBay. Yeah. Okay, so Josh, do you have notes?
Regale us with your notes.
The tale of the time I watched Child's Play.
Date and time required.
Yes, of course. To put you into the mood, pretend like it is March 8th, 2020, and the time is 8:33 p.m. Which for Josh is like fucking 11 or like midnight. That's up late. 8:44.
It's 8:53 right now.
Right? Child's Play. First note was Buddy looks weird as fuck. Didn't like the new Buddy. His face looked weird. So Chucky is the result of a pissed off Vietnamese worker.
Okay. Yep.
Nobody said the doll was a fucking ginger. Yes, that's the scene we already talked about. That was the quote.
Nobody said the doll was a fucking ginger.
And then, this one's good too. I waited 3 goddamn weeks for this ginger piece of shit.
That's common.
I wrote, is that Jack Black? And I'm still not entirely convinced it's not. Who was the creepy guy? The soup rose.
Definitely not Jack Black, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
He looked just like Jack Black. And the whole movie I was looking at him trying to get a good view. I was like, is that Jack Black? Prompts her son to go into the rain with what looks like drug dealers hanging out in a New York street.
Yes. Go out and make some friends.
Mom of the Year award.
Go out and make some friends.
Just like that time you banged Susan. I don't know who said it or when, but it made me laugh.
Oh, it was her trying to get the doll for free. And the guy
yes.
she worked with on the back of the truck.
When she was violating the shopping policy and taking product that was returned. But you can't do that. Yeah, she's like, just like that time you banged Susan. Do I need to call your wife or something to that effect?
Nice black.
I wrote, fuck, the humor in this movie is on point.
Nice, recognize.
And I wrote, Han Solo, way meta. When they asked him what his name was, and they said Han Solo, because it was Luke Skywalker voicing it.
Yes, very
Clever.
nice.
I wrote, she is definitely going to die by hanging. Hashtag foreshadowing. She took the ribbon and went like this.
Adam, you're distracting me.
Am I distracting you?
Cleaning up. Yeah.
I do love this setup of Andy inadvertently teaching Chucky how to kill. That was good writing. What the man who designed Chucky's Shrek-looking face? What?
Tim Matheson had a Shrek-looking face to you?
I have no idea what that even means. Next.
I like those notes. Tim, you don't even know what you wrote.
I don't even remember what this is in reference to. The man who designed Chucky's Shrek-looking face.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't like Chucky's face. That's all you need to know. Texas Chainsaw reference. Awesome. Cat down the garbage chute. Jesus H. Christ. I think after killing the cat, that would be a good time to get rid of Chucky.
Yeah, would have been.
Instead they did. I wrote, oh fuck, he pissed in his face. That's hysterical. Oh man, he's buried. He's even worse of a scumbag than we thought. Great effects on the leg snapping. That's the effect we forgot. When he falls off the fucking roof and lands on his shins snap.
Yeah.
That is probably the best effect in the movie.
It was a good one. It was a very good one. The best part was his twin fucking daughters, like, you know, fucking on their iPods and shit. Like, what was that? Nothing.
Yeah. White guy dead in a watermelon patch. Would have been a quote. Why not? Oh my fucking god. He's giving a watermelon to an old black lady. When he fucking... Jesus Christ.
Wow.
He slashed him in the dick. And I wrote, Buddy 2 Leprechaun uniform for sale. I wrote, Razor drones. Yep. And I wrote, I should probably get off my phone and finish watching this. Chucky Rutspin is the most creepy.
Chucky Ruxpin. Nice.
This reboot missed the most important part, and this is why I don't like this movie. It missed the most important part of any Child's Play movie, and that is people thinking that Andy is crazy and him trying to convince them otherwise that the doll's
No, that happened quite a few times in the movie.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it happened for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's happened. It's an hour in the original Child's Play.
All right, moving on.
This movie, they glazed right over it.
My kid said the same thing.
Yeah. That's the most important part. And I'll tell you why. Because technology doesn't scare me. What scares me is fucking toys coming to life and murdering you. That's what fucking scares me. I wrote, she did hang. Great callback. Recall Buddy 2 despite Buddy 1 being the murderer. They don't recall Buddy 1. You know, the one that was a fucking problem.
No, they recall Buddy 2.
You are my buddy till the end. Great quote. And then I just wrote final notes. Great Black Mirror episode. Horrible Child's Play movie.
Okay. Nice. And those are Josh's notes. Tim, do you have any trivia for us? Or are we skipping trivia on this one?
Oh, no, I can do trivia. Absolutely.
We can do trivia time with Tim.
Thank you. Didn't even think you were going to ask me. I don't even have it up.
Why would I not ask Tim for trivia time? Everybody loves trivia time with Tim.
Don't know.
Who doesn't like trivia time? Where are these people?
Assholes.
Where are these people? We should approach them.
Bullshit! All right, Tim.
So I think it's pretty self-apparent that Don Mancini is not involved with this film in any way, shape, or form, except being credited for coming up with the character idea. Along with Alex Vincent, Christine Elise, and Jennifer Tilly have all expressed lack of interest in this movie.
You know it's bad when Jennifer Tilly wants to do it.
Well, she said it's not her Chucky. Yeah. And it's not.
No.
The original creators of Chucky and every sequel before this decided to do a separate, limited series to continue the storyline. So that is fucking amazing because... And that was another thing that I wasn't mad at this movie about, was this isn't the new Chucky, right? Like, it's its own separate fucking thing. My Chucky is still safe. My Chucky's still going to have a continuing story with everybody that was involved with everything that I loved about Chucky. So, this new thing, cool. This will tide me over until I get to see the new one. You know what I mean? At one point, the toy police car is activated and states, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me."
RoboCop.
Obvious reference to RoboCop, which was also released by Orion Pictures. What you might not know is that Mark Hamill previously voiced Chucky in Robot Chicken.
Nice.
Yeah. And this was like a while ago when he did it. This movie was released the same day as Toy Story 4. And I don't know if you guys saw the promotional posters of fucking Child's Play.
Yes, that's right.
Where he's like, he killed all the major characters of Toy Story.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Tom Holland not Spider-Man, but the director of the original, posted on Twitter that Mark Hamill's casting as Chucky was an extremely smart move.
Got to give credit.
Yeah. There's obvious callouts to E.T. the extraterrestrial throughout this movie. Chucky has a glowing finger that makes things work. Andy wears a bright red sweatshirt through most of the movie. Chucky learns how to do things from watching TV. All things that E.T. does.
I like that.
Yeah, and another thing is that these aren't good guy dolls. These are buddy dolls. Completely different product.
Alternate timeline.
Yeah. The movie, obviously, we talked about earlier, was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 that they were watching. And I think, honestly, they should have showed 1. But I thought it was cool that it was Texas Chainsaw anyway. Yeah. Andy decides to call Chucky Han Solo, a character made famous by a little movie called Star Wars. Chucky's also
that movie
voiced
up before.
Yeah. Chucky's also voiced by Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars movie. Yeah, along with accessories displayed for the Buddy 2 doll is a leprechaun costume, which is an obvious nod to Leprechaun. One of 2 Chucky-related films released in 2019, the other being called Charles, but neither had any involvement from the franchise creator Don Mancini, who's working on his television series, continuing the original series. So apparently there's another movie coming out this year, 2020, called Charles.
Have you seen that?
I've seen the trailer for it. Yeah, it's a fan film, entirely done, and it looks fucking amazing, actually, to be honest.
I'm looking at the poster, and it looks awesome. The poster?
Yeah, they kickstarted it or something like this with some of the, just to pay for some of the extra effects work that they wanted to do. Yeah. Well worth your time to go check this out.
And it looks like there's a lot, like they've done a couple of them.
Nice.
Couple fan films.
Fan films are good because they know what fans want.
True.
Yeah. The Italian title of this film is La Bambola Assassina, which translates to The Killer Doll.
That's what the real English title should have been.
Yeah.
Black Mirror Season 4, Episode 1, The Killer Doll.
The Killer Doll. Done.
Originally, Jason Eccles was considered to voice Chucky.
Who?
Jensen
Ackles.
Jensen.
Oh, from...
I said Jason.
Okay. Jensen Ackles.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Jensen. Yeah.
Okay. That would have been interesting. Hey, you never...
I like Jensen. I do.
You never know, right? A lot of people would never have been able to tell that, if you never really truly knew him, that Mark Hamill was capable of doing good character voices. A lot of people still don't realize that he was the fucking awesome-ass Joker in the animated series, let alone, other things that he's done.
But that's the difference. Mark Hamill has a ton of experience with animation and voice acting.
Yeah.
Jensen, to my knowledge, does not.
Got to start somewhere.
The body count in this movie was 8.
Including the cat, or no?
Including the cat.
I still say that's dumb. When they kill the cat, I think that would have been my tipping point. Like, this buddy doll killed the cat. Should probably get rid of it.
This is the last one. Most of the film's deaths could not closely resemble any of the deaths from the original sequels too closely. This was due to Universal Studios still retaining the rights to every Child's Play sequel up to and including the Chucky films that dropped the Child's Play title. So, yeah, they weren't allowed to have similar deaths, which makes sense. And I thought the deaths in this were pretty good.
Yeah, pretty unique
Yeah.
as far as the universe is concerned. I still say that's the best episode, the best scene when he snaps his femur or his shin or whatever. That's not.
And that's trivia time.
Trivia time with Tim. Excellent. All right, gentlemen.
Excellent.
That just means that we need to actually kind of wrap this up with our final thoughts a little bit here. So, I guess I'm going to take it first this time, and then we'll kind of go back around the table. I had actually no real plans on watching this movie originally. Well, sorry, not originally. I wanted to see it originally, but then after being panned by critics and, you know, the more and more I've seen about this movie, I put it really fucking low on my list of things to watch. I really had no interest in watching it anytime soon. It was going to be one of those ones that eventually would show up and I'd probably watch it on a fucking midnight showing, you know, on fucking Shudder or something like this. That being said, Tim came to me and said one night after one of our discussions and said, "Oh, by the way, I watched Child's Play. You should probably fucking watch this movie." And I was like, "Oh, really? Why?" And he goes, just do yourself a fucking favor and watch the movie and put your own opinion to this. So I did. That was the whole purpose. So that's why we're doing the episode here. I literally went in with little to no expectations. The only things that I really wanted out of this movie was to see something that Mark Hamill brought to life, because I love Mark Hamill. Like, what are you going to do? For the most part, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I like the fact that they went a different direction when it came to the hero character, I'll call Chucky. Because at no point was he truly a purposeful evil character. He was a learned evil character that started off protecting and then betrayed as he felt. So it learned from the betrayal to go in that direction of, well, fuck you, basically.
If I can't have you, no one will.
Exactly. So I thought it was an interesting take on it because it wasn't just a rehash of the original story, which I know, once again, Josh, you say that's what you want. You just want a rehash of the stories. I take solace in the fact that, like Tim said, this isn't the original Chucky that we grew up with, so they could do this and take it in a different direction. So I'm okay with this. I thought the characters were fresh. I did like the writing in the movie. The deaths were a little bit underwhelming for the most part. But overall, this movie was not the dumpster fire people make it out to be. The movie in general still doesn't sit on an extremely high level of, oh, this is fucking awesome, you have to watch this. But I gotta admit, for anybody who's shitting on this movie with A, never having seen it, or B, not giving it the time of day just because it's not the original Child's Play that you grew up with, take a step back and actually take a watch of this movie. And I think that for the most part, you might even just find something simple to enjoy about the movie. It's a horror movie. That being said, will I actually revisit this movie and probably watch it again in the future? I highly doubt it. It's not one of those movies that has a lot of replay value for me. It's probably going to just sit on the shelf and never watch it again. You know, I'll recommend one or two people maybe who say that they never watched it because of the fact that, like me, it was panned and sounded like a dumpster fire. I'll probably just say, you know what, you'd be pleasantly surprised because it's not that fucking bad. There are worse fucking movies out there to watch. There really fucking are. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, just because I know I'm sounding pretty positive about this, I can't give it a rated S for shit, but I'm going to say it's good. I'm giving it a G. It's good. It's not shit. It's not quite pretty good. It's just good.
That is the lowest rating a feature review film has received from Adam.
That is the lowest rating. But once again, didn't I do a shit one day? I did.
Yeah, you did.
So this is okay. So this is the closest to a shit that I've taken on a movie without actually shitting on a movie. So fine and dandy. So G for good. So Josh, I want to hear what you have to say. Come on, buddy, get it out there.
This It's hard because the writing is good,
Okay.
the humor is good, the effects are good. Chucky's
Why don't
fucking
you like
stupid.
this movie?
Chucky's fucking stupid.
Chucky's fucking stupid.
It's fucking stupid. He's not an evil doll.
He is an evil doll.
It's just a tech movie. It's just a tech movie. If I wanted to watch that, I'd watch Black Mirror, which writing is 10 times better and humor is 10 times better. So it leaves me with this awkward feeling of it being a good movie, but a absolute shit Child's Play movie.
Tell us how you really feel, Josh. Come on.
I have to rate this rated S for shit. I do not want people to watch this. Do not download it. Do not get a $4 VPN. Do not illegally download it. Just don't watch this.
If you're going to rate it S for shit, you got to do it properly. Come on.
Rated S for shit.
Yay! Good job, Josh. Good job.
Now, if you're watching Black Mirror and you run out of episodes, watch this movie.
And call it Black Mirror while you're watching it.
Here's what you do. Skip in 5 minutes. Don't watch the opening credits. And then about 5 minutes before it ends, and they start talking about Child's Play again, just stop watching it. That's my advice to you.
Okay.
Tim?
Man, little to nothing out of you tonight, Josh, but that's good. I like that. Okay. Tim, you're up.
I didn't want this movie to be made. But because they didn't listen to me, they made it anyway. And I had nothing to watch this one particular night. I decided to watch it. Fuck it. It's only an hour and a half. I won't get that time back, but whatever. Right? I needed something to eat or something to watch while I was eating supper. And I watched it, and like Adam, I went into this with very low expectations because I am such a fan of the originals. But as the movie went on, I wasn't hating it. I wasn't getting angry like previous reboots that I've watched. And it got to the end credits, and I was like, I actually enjoyed it. Like, I'm not saying I love this movie, but I didn't hate it. Right? I didn't hate it. It had so many problems with it, but it's a horror movie, and it's a modern day horror movie. What modern day horror movie doesn't have problems with it? What horror movie doesn't have problems with it in general? But that doesn't mean, I don't like them. I guess the main sentiment that I can say is that this movie was coming out whether I wanted it to or not, and I decided to watch it, and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, and I sat there and I liked the kills. I thought the acting was pretty good. The storyline for me was just different enough that it reminded me of Child's Play, but I think Josh said it best that it was Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And I like Black Mirror. I'm getting my throat
choked up.
Totally choked up.
Yeah. When people like this movie, you get coronavirus. I'm just saying.
Wow. So yeah, with the acting, the little bit of comedy, the special effects on Chucky, the deaths were all right. All in all, I like I said, I didn't hate this movie. I didn't love it. I'm going to go with the same rating that Adam did and give it a G.
Fair enough. So we have 2 G's and an S, rated S, for shit.
On a side note, Aubrey Plaza was awesome. Mark Hamill was awesome.
Yep. I'm not denying that either.
And it was directed pretty good. Like it wasn't a shit movie. It was definitely not a shit movie.
It's a shit Child's Play movie.
Well, yeah, but if this movie came out and there was no Child's Play, this was the original iteration of this IP, how
Yep.
would you feel about it, Josh?
I say this is an excellent movie. They taking a lot of the concepts from Black Mirror. I wonder if the people that involved with Black Mirror know about this. And then I'd email them and ask for free stuff.
Nice.
See, I see what you did there, Josh.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I did. I do.
That's a callback.
Adam, it went over his head.
I don't appreciate it. No.
That's all right.
Everything goes over my head.
I appreciated it.
Which is impressive because he has a big head.
Fuck. Whatever!
Zing! Zing!
Fucking
Zing!
zing. Shit on Adam as always, so, okay.
Fuck.
I know, I love you guys too. Alright, so that means that we are done reviewing Child's Play. The reboot, remake, whatever, so... Excellent. So, 2 G's and a shit! And...
I don't go handing out shits willy-nilly, you know.
No, I know
Just
you
saying.
don't. It takes a lot because you have a love for cheap, cheesy shit.
You try to imply that you're not a shit bandit?
Right?
Nice. All right, fine. With that, it's time to wrap things up, gentlemen. So, thank you everybody for tuning in and taking a listen to this podcast and web series. So, we are available on YouTube. We're available on all the major podcasting platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, etc. We're also on Patreon, by the way, so open up your hearts and your wallets and become a Patreon today for us. And check us out on YouTube once again and subscribe to the page, share it out, and check us out. And Facebook. Find us on Facebook under the Misunderstood Art Company. Check us out, subscribe, and like on Facebook. And we do live broadcasts, so check us out when we do our live roundtable reviews. Go back and check out the library, have a bunch of laughs, and realize it's always shit on Adam Day. And... that's thank you very much from everybody at the Cast from the Coast, and until next time, Tim,
stay spooky. Yeah, just stay spooky.
Josh,
I'm not going to sleep at night. You have to say it.
What?
You have to say everybody. I'm not going to sleep at night.
Say nope.
He's just leaving it be. So Josh,
I can't believe I waited 2 fucking years for this stupid ginger piece of shit.
Good one. Until next time, thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a good night.
Good night.